You're listening to the Life of Lozo podcast.
We are live here at Life of Lozo.
He is the funniest, smartest, sexiest guy I know.
Lozo is now live.
Yo, on this podcast, we sit down with Brooks Whalen, the founder of Local Goods Market. Brooks gives us his vision for how he wants to support the local makers, and he shares his passion for the community as a second-generation Jacksonville native. We talk Jags, growing Mohawks, and we rap, whoop, there it is. Thank you to our sponsors, Stay Tuned Studios, The Taylor Shop Inc., Joe Tree Productions, The Bee Brigade, Rhyme Designs Clothing, Ron's World Guitars, The Music Experience, Custom Trips and more, and Jack Sports Nutrition. Let's go. Yo, Life of Lozo, back here in studio, Stay Tuned Studios, STS Podcasts. We are running through season 2, and we have a great special guest here today, Mr. Brooks Whalen from Local Goods Market. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so we met, I don't know, about maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah, something like that.
We played some games.
Yeah, a couple good card games.
Yeah, we met via Kyle Willis, our favorite artist that we love to talk about every single episode, it seems like. Cause
yeah,
he does,
the art of Kyle Willis.
Right? I mean, just every week it's something new that he makes that I just have to talk about. I just literally saw him yesterday at the Riverside Arts Market.
Yep.
And,
I saw him down there.
I saw you as well, right? Yeah, that's where the party's at, man. So
it's a fun time.
Yeah, dude. So welcome to the show. You know, I really I wanted to have you on, and Kyle was saying like, hey, you guys got to meet. You know, you guys are doing some really cool stuff here locally, but I'm just talking trash on my podcast with my friends, right? You're actually doing something meaningful here.
Trying to.
So for those that don't know, the Local Goods Market. Just from a concept standpoint and from what I understand, really trying to, help the makers of Jacksonville and the people that are creating some really cool stuff here have a platform online to be able to sell their goods and kind of create awareness. But I would love for you to kind of like walk me through that whole thing.
Yeah, so that's the basis of it. We really have I think a little bit bigger picture for it. What we really want is really to bring kind of Jacksonville together under one roof, kind of per se. Awesome. So, we want the all the creative people here in Jacksonville, all the artists, the makers, the craftsmen, small businesses. We want to be able to bring them under one roof and really kind of show the people of Jacksonville what we have to offer here, and be able to have one place for people to be able to find it and kind of see what's going on, kind of what's happening here in town, and hopefully one of these days bring some music on there as well.
We saw the coming soon.
Yeah, that's been coming soon for a while, but we're working on that. And actually, I'm glad we're here today. Maybe we could talk about it a little bit more now we got a studio here.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, look, another local small business that can help you in your endeavor.
Exactly.
Of the music of Jacksonville. But no, so you're a second generation native from Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, so parents were both born here. Grandparents on either side moved here at some point. I think my mom's grandparents came in when he was a kid. I think around 8 or 9. My grandmother on my mom's side, same thing, pretty young. And then my dad's parents came a little bit older. They had grown up. My dad was I think he actually was born in St. Augustine, but they moved here pretty much immediately afterwards. So I consider myself second generation.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Full-blooded here.
Yeah, right. Full-blooded. Jacksonville Jaguar shirt and everything.
Oh yeah, it's figured I should rock the Jaguar shirt. I've been standing behind them the past 10 years while they've been struggling, but hey, we'll turn it around one day.
Make it work. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Well, and I think that in reading through the website and seeing your story and kind of seeing what you got going on here, to me, like the passion for the community and like the fact that this is more than just an idea and like an online retailer. Like this is really something that you really, really care about. And that, I think just part of the story of you talking about how there's been so many small businesses and all these places and, how kind of a lot of the the bigger boxes, big companies came in, and that these places didn't necessarily go away. They just kind of moved a little bit. And then kind of created these things like the Riverside's Art Market, like Art Walk, like the Cork Arts District. Like these places have come to life now, and I just like the fact, and that's what I think I told you when we first met, just being ahead of the curve to understand that the internet and the technology is where everybody goes now. So if you're looking for something and you want to support local and you want to see the awesome things that are in Jacksonville, you need a place for that. And if you're trying to compete in the world of Googles and Amazons and Etsy's and eBays, good luck, right?
Right.
So I can really see that. But what was it that sparked this idea? Like, what was the thing that really moved you in this direction?
So it's probably somewhere along the line. So I worked in medicine for a while before I started this venture, and so I was always kind of in the community working with people here in town, and I grew up here. I started working as in my adult life. You kind of start to see things a little bit differently, and you start to think, how can I make a little bit of an impact on something, and everyone kind of wants to have these big dreams of changing the world and doing these great things, and what I started to realize is you kind of have to do stuff at home first, like if you can impact a change just on your street or your neighborhood, then that's meaningful, and that's where it all really starts. And so I think what really inspired me to do it really is I moved home after going to college, and I was back in Jacksonville, and I never really saw myself living back in Jacksonville. I grew up here, and I'd always kind of thought I'm gonna get out and go live in California. That's kind of every college kid's kind of thing that they're gonna do after college. So,
Yep.
But I ended up back here through some circumstances with some family health issues and things. So, I was back here, and it was really neat, like kind of seeing it from a fresh set of eyes, and seeing the city grow a little bit. And I left and came back a couple different times, and each time, you could, when you're living in a place, it's hard to see things change. When you leave and come back, you can kind of see some of the changes occur. And then, it kind of came to me that this is my city. I was born here. My family was born here. Like, I could go run around and chase some dream and end up in some other city. But at the end of the day, my good friends, my family, everyone lives here. And if I can do something that kind of can improve our city and give Jacksonville some, kind of help it in some way, in some small way. I don't think this is going to go changing Jacksonville or anything like that, but, just kind of add something or kind of give something back to Jacksonville to kind of help with a little bit of some identity, then I think that would be a good start. And that kind of is what got me motivated. I wanted to do something here, make Jacksonville, do something different for Jacksonville, and something that other cities don't have going for it yet.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think it's funny, there's a common theme in a lot of people that I've talked to in Jacksonville, just around, and I've seen it myself. I've been here since 2009. I think, yeah, I've Florida since 2007 and Jacksonville since 2009. So having been here, like, there is a ton of talent. There's a ton of amazing people and amazing things. And I think it being a they would say a secondary city, or it's not a major market, it's a secondary market.
Right.
It's always tough. You don't get all the pub of a Orlando, Tampa, Miami.
We're not on the Weather Channel.
Exactly.
When it shows what the temperature is.
It's a good call, right? Yeah, not on the Weather Channel. You have to search the city to get it on the app, right?
We're not on the United States map of what the temperature is.
Exactly. So, but I think that that's one of those things where it offers itself a great opportunity to really highlight the talent and the people that are here, but it takes somebody to do it. It takes somebody to say, like, I'm going to bring everybody together and really try to do something with this to highlight what we have here in the city. So I think that's awesome. Was it the idea, though, right? There had to be some element of something whether it was an artist that like what was it that kind of said, hey, this is the thing I want to do?
So, probably the easiest, and probably the easiest explanation, I guess, is going to these markets. And anytime I travel, I always like going to the local market.
Sure.
There's something about the atmosphere that's really neat. It's kind of people really living in their city, doing their thing, and then they're making their living from doing it. And I feel like that's like a place where really everything comes together, because at the end of the day, everyone needs to make money, everyone needs to get by, and everyone has different crafts, everyone has different skills, and the market's a neat place where you see everyone come, and then people are sharing ideas, people are sharing commerce, buying and selling things between each other, and it's just a neat environment. And I think that's where it kind of got started, is going to markets like that, and then going down to the Riverside Art Market and seeing all the talented people here in Jacksonville doing things really kind of got me inspired to say, hey, like, people need to know about this, people that don't go down to these markets, they need to be able to experience this. And convenience is a huge factor, time's a huge factor in our lives these days. And so if we could bring that experience online to kind of show people, hey, this is what is going on here, like these are the people, these people live in your city and they're making these awesome things that you think you need to go buy off of wherever, a big box store, but people are making them right here in town, and they're not that expensive.
Right,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
That was the other thing. Like, they're not like out of control expensive, because you're buying them right from the person who's making them,
Right.
and so you don't go through that 4 or 5 different hands before it gets to you. So
Absolutely.
that was it. I mean, I guess that's the simplest way to do it. The simplest way to say it is just going to the markets and seeing the people, and then really wanting to get it out there. So I don't know if there's one exact thing. It was just more of
The overall theory and idea of what you saw.
Right.
Kind of a need for it. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And just, a little bit of city pride, like, hey, this is us,
It's awesome, man.
this is the people here. So
What I know you had your meetup, and I was out of town. I was really bummed, because I was like, man, I want to go, right?
Oh, it was
but
fun.
I was out of town.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
And that was at Southern Swells Brewing, right?
Yep.
Back in May 25th.
Yep.
And so talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what I saw some pictures on social media. It looked to be like a great event. A lot of people showing up and supporting there. But I love that idea and concept of here's the online marketplace, right? To your point, like, here's the highlights and all the cool stuff that that we make here and that people are creating here. But then kind of like, here's a pop-up shop, right? Here's a meetup and a cool place to come. And to your point, I think the ability to allow makers to connect with each other and to support each other is awesome, because I think that's the first level of support to kind of get things going.
Right.
You see that with all industries. You see that with musicians. You see that with artists. You see that with with jewelry makers, craftsmen, woodsmen. Like, they tend to want to take care of them, to take care of their peers first.
Yeah,
and kind of get things
absolutely.
going. So talk to me about that meetup and kind of the launch party.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was at Southern Swells. They were kind enough to have us up there, and we really appreciated it. We had a great time. They had a very nice establishment and fantastic beer. So that was great that they let us. Yeah. That
You
helped.
got Don talking now, right? You
Yeah.
got beer. Let's talk about it.
That definitely smoothed things over for everybody. But yeah, so we're online, and we have a good online presence. But at the end of the day, again, the goal is to really showcase the community, showcase the people in the community. And sometimes when it's online, it doesn't have as much of that personal factor to it. So it's really important for us to be able to get the customers in front of the vendors, and say, hey, these are the people. These are the people who are making the stuff on the website, and they're real people. They live here. They a lot of them probably your neighbors and things. So that's kind of the idea behind that, is just to bring people together in person and say, hey, this is real. This is really this isn't just something that's getting resold off of somewhere.
Sure.
So
and it's really genuine too, because you think about, in most business models, right, the element of kind of control the product, control the pricing. and not give access to the creators, right? So like I love that idea where you've got this this business model where you're selling some of their work, right, and they're a part of your ecosystem online. But at the same time, you're bringing the consumer directly to them as well, because they may buy something at the table and that thing wasn't on your website, right? But they're supporting the maker, who then are being able to do more with their stuff, which then kind of creates this element of loyalty to local goods market, right? Like just that whole idea of the transparency and the fact that it is about community, and it's not about I'm going to have these 20 makers in my basement, right? Or in my warehouse cranking this stuff out. You never get to see who they are.
Right.
Like, no, it's not even about that. It really is about. So I really love that idea. And I think that when you have a true, not just a vision, but a true guiding, North Star per se for your business, I think that doing the right thing is what brings more people along. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was important for us, is the transparency. You can go on there and see exactly how everything works. And we've tried to make it as simple as possible and as fair as possible for all sides involved. Sure. And that was real important for us. So, at the end of the day, again, if this doesn't work out, but we're able to get, some spotlight on some local talent here, then it's still a success in our eyes. So
that's awesome, man. And how long has this been kind of going? I know the idea's been there for a while, but like how long has this actually been in action?
So we've been public per se, not an initial public offering.
Right, exactly. Your IPO, right?
No
IPO. Get $50
yeah.
of stock right now. Come on, man. Yeah.
Really well,
how much cash you got, Don? Come on, let's do this, man.
But so we kind of officially launched out to the public. I think it was a little over 10 weeks ago. Okay. I don't even remember the official date. We were planning on a Monday, the first Monday in April, and one of the awesome vendors who is still on the site with us, and he's great. He was kind enough to give us a shout out on Instagram the Friday before we were supposed to kind of officially launch, and of course I've freaked out. I called my lady who's been helping me with the marketing, and she's like, "No, that's good. That's a good thing."
Was it Kyle?
No, it wasn't Kyle. It wasn't Kyle.
I was gonna bust his chops.
It was Steven. But he's a photographer. He's great, and I appreciate it, Steven. Thank you. But of course, that was for us. We're working in the background trying to get everything just going perfect and ready to go. Yeah. And so it was funny looking back. But 10 weeks really is all we've been there. Now we've been working on it obviously a lot longer.
Absolutely.
In going to the markets and talking with a lot of the vendors there and the artists and just kind of telling people about it and trying to get people familiar with it. So we've been in the background talking with people for several months now.
Well, I would imagine that's the case. You got a ton of stuff on the website.
It's coming along.
A ton of stuff.
It's coming along. Yeah.
That's awesome, and I think I think that's it's something that even Don, like I literally launched the show on March 31st. And in my mind, I've been working on the show for over almost a year, from the first idea of saying I want to get back into some radio or podcasts from back when I did it in college, to doing all that prep work, to talking to all my friends, to bringing things along, to like looking at branding and logos and what do I want to talk about, who do I want to talk to, and you do all of that kind of work ahead of time. And that's what I said. I said, my goal is I'm going to launch in March. Like regardless of what happens, March 2017. So of course, great. March 31st on a Friday. That's the day that my first episode comes out, and I was like, it is what it is, right? I put it out there on social media. I said, Life of Lozo launches March 2017. I was like, well, I guess it better come out on this Friday.
You got to give yourself a deadline.
Yep, it's got to happen. And I was up till Friday 3 o'clock in the morning that Thursday, right? Trying to get everything done. It was a lot of fun. But no, I totally get it. But that's awesome, man. It's definitely impressive because again, like most of the time when you talk about somebody kind of going out in 10 weeks, you got a lot of stuff on there, and I know obviously like offering delivery as well. Like that's a whole different value proposition that you don't see a lot of other places talk about.
Yeah, and we thought that was kind of critical to the success of this thing because at first we were thinking, I say we, I mean, it's kind of me. I found myself talking
to yourself.
Yeah.
Are you the delivery guy too?
Yeah, I do the delivery. Yeah. So I mean, I've got a lot of people that are helping me in this venture, but I'm kind of the workhorse behind it. So, So the delivery, we're promoting these local products on the website, and we're trying to create a market atmosphere, but obviously the difference between an actual market and an online market is you're not there to pick that product up. The product still has to get to your house somehow. So it didn't really make sense for us to have all these local products on the website and then have to go ship them through UPS or USPS
or warehouse them or something.
Or warehouse, yeah. So it did, and that wasn't really initially part of the idea, but at the same time, I felt like it would create that network and community within the website again. So everything on there you can have delivered locally. It's $5 flat rate unless it's some piece of furniture or something like that. But it just was a way to kind of create that flow to where it wasn't, okay, I bought this from this specific vendor, but now we have to arrange shipping. And when I started looking into shipping costs, I mean, if you ship something from the studio here downtown, it would probably cost you, $8 for something the size of this water bottle here, and it was like that would probably be a little cheaper than that, $6.75 or something, but so it just didn't seem to really make that much sense to then buy something locally but then turn around and have it shipped through USPS or UPS that then goes to their substation and then out to their packaging place and then back around when it only had to go a couple miles to begin with. So we were like, well, how can we kind of get through that and really create a kind of a network within the site. So that was the idea behind the shipping. We'll see if it works out.
Right.
in the long run.
Well, I know in talking to some of the makers, the people that I know are involved, that was like a big deal for them. They're like, and they deliver, man. Like they'll come get it, they'll take it, right? Because you can just tell, like it's just, I'm working on a project right now with Kyle, and I was like, I'm gonna see Brooks, man. I can give him the stuff, and he was like, well, it depends if he comes out to game night or not, or what's. He's like, I'll just come get it from you tomorrow, right? So like, this is literally what these are, right? This is for a project we're working on.
Nice.
And but it's so funny because that's a big deal, right? That's just getting things from point A to point B. And to your point, like I don't want to see like left location Jacksonville, Florida, arrived at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Right? Left Kentucky, arrived at Orange Park.
Yeah.
Now arrived at Jacksonville.
Right.
Now it's your like, come on, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Dude.
Next door, yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I think that will be a benefit for everybody. And really, because that's a whole other side of the business. Hopefully we'll be so busy one day that we can run a whole crew of people out there and hire people around here in the city and kind of go that route too. So
that's awesome. You mentioned earlier just kind of like what it is right now, but like the bigger picture, right, and the larger vision, and so I guess what I would love to know is like what does that dream scenario look like in like 5 years? Like what does this really look like in your mind 5 years from now when everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing?
5 years from now, if everything just goes perfectly, people will go onto local goods market before they go onto Amazon, before they go on to, and nothing against any of these websites or these shipping companies, by the way. I still use all of them.
Yeah, right.
But,
that's how I get toilet paper.
I'm not.
Dog food.
They work. But, people go on to local goods market to see if whatever they are looking to buy, whether it be something for their home or some new clothes or a piece of jewelry for a gift or whatever it might be, that they go on to local goods market before they go on to one of these bigger websites, or more importantly, before they go into some of these big box stores that just has a bunch of stuff that like, not that it's bad, but it we would much rather people be shopping here locally, and really even above that and more than that is for people to say like, hey, what's going on here in Jacksonville? Like, what kind of cool new designers are out there, you know, like, because we sponsored the Jacksonville Fashion Project, and it was fun, and we have a couple of our vendors were the designers in the show, and they make awesome stuff, you know, and it's they make it, you know, they sew it themselves and all, and they make some really cool stuff, and it's like, you know, I would love for people to say, hey, look at this bag I got from this designer here in town, or hopefully, again, like with the music, we really want to get involved with the music. Go on to the local goods market to see what cool new bands are out, you know, what musicians are out, and hopefully at some point some of the people who get started on local goods market, they make it out there, and then they do become a national company. Like, that's our goal. We want to promote people here in Jacksonville, and then hope that they take off, and then that brand came from Jacksonville, you know, and say, hey, this was a Jacksonville product. You know, this started here. It didn't start out west. It didn't start, you know, up north. It is a Jacksonville thing. So that's it.
That's awesome, man. And I would love to know kind of running a business is tough enough, right? Running a small business is hard enough, and then kind of doing a startup is even tougher, right? And then you take on the task of working with creative people, which is a whole nother layer of toughness, right? Like you've kind of set yourself up, you know, kind of like the Jags in the draft every year, right? Like, are we really trying to win, or we're trying to pull it off, right? Right. Like, let's just. It's like I'm a Lions fan. We do it like. We were doing a run of like, let's get every Heisman Trophy winner and just end their career in 3 years. Like, that's what it felt like to me, right? Like, let's completely set ourselves up for failure. But no, but obviously, like, there's a lot of layers to that. What's been the hardest part so far for you?
So you said it pretty well. You know, the startup thing has probably been the most difficult, because there's not really a playbook, you know. There's not a path that I'm supposed to be going down, other than what in my brain kind of seems to be the way to do it. And in putting, you know, your thoughts into actions is definitely the most difficult thing. And I mean, because when your goal is to you know, get new interesting products onto the website, you know, for customers to be interested when they come, well, how do you do that? Well, you know, it's a lot of calling and talking to different people, and then it's not always a straightforward answer to how to do that kind of thing. And so it's coming up with all these processes and things like that to kind of get the things done that you have planned, but then you know, it's coming up with that plan to execute the plan has been you know, it's been a challenge, but that's the fun part of doing it. You know? And I'd say that's it. And you know, the people I work with are all great. You know, all the vendors on the website are awesome. A lot of them have been with us from the beginning, and they're super supportive. You know, people really like the idea. You know, but at the same time, you know, like, they've got expectations, and we don't want to let them down, you know, and they've invested their time with us, so you know, it's important for us to really make it work for them too.
I know you got a lot of people on the site, obviously, and I don't expect you to name them all, but I would love if you've got maybe, you know, any shout outs or people that have helped you with the business, or vendors, or anybody at all that, like, top of mind for you has really kind of helped push you and push this thing along. You know, kind of who are those that right away pop up, or do you want me to pull up the list of vendors so we don't miss anybody?
No, yeah, I mean, there's some easy ones, and the people who've been with me kind of from the get go have been extremely helpful. So I got to give a shout out to Kyle, because he linked us up, so that's always important, and he's been great, man. I don't know if y'all have had him on or anything, but
I finally figured out an angle. He does not want to do the show, but I found an angle to get him on the show, so we're booking.
Good,
so I got him. I got his ankle.
He's just got a great personality, you know, really easy to talk to and real helpful, you know. Obviously, he got us together. And Carmen, she was a friend of Kyle's, and I forgot. I think I met Kyle first, and I think he's the one who said, hey, go talk to Carmen. She's been real helpful. She's extremely nice, very good heart, and she's been really helpful there. Let's see, Terry with Outside Art, she's a fantastic artist, and she's really embodies an artist. She comes out to I sat and talked to her probably 30 minutes. This is way before the website was open. And I just told her about the idea, and I just sat and talked to her for about a half an hour and just talking about ideas and stuff. Linda, with Gourd's Gone Wild, she's great. I just talked to her. She came out to the launch party, and I talked to her for probably 45 minutes driving a few weeks after the launch party, just asking her like what she thought about it, from her perspective, like what could we do better, and she sat and talked with me forever and let me bounce ideas off of her and stuff. And Callie with Honey Baby Boutique, her and Corey McCoy Jewelry, they were the first two vendors on there. They're a couple friends of mine, and they were kind enough, they've been doing the art walks in the market scene, and they'd been doing it for a while. And I said, hey guys, like, we're building this website, and we need some people on there, before they even knew what it was. And they let us build a site for them and kind of test everything out on them. So without them, we probably wouldn't have been able to be here at all. Everybody, my wife, she's on there. She's got some shirts and stuff. We kind of try to kind of like keep it a little separated because it's her own little business, but she kind of does it for fun. But she's been extremely helpful just in general, not as a vendor, but extremely supportive. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot of hours, and she doesn't
Yeah.
ever get on to me about it. She's totally understanding, which has been great. And she comes down to the art walks and talks with people, and she's definitely behind it too. So
that's awesome, man. That's great to hear. That's very cool. Okay, well, we're now onto a part of the show that we call Whoop, There It Is.
Oh, yeah. I think I actually listened to that song today.
Right? Oh, you listen? So that's my kind of guy, right?
Pretty sure we
Tag
came on.
team, back again. Check it, a record, let's begin. Party on, party people, maybe we hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump for joy. Say party over here, party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake your derriere. These 3 words when you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, hit me. So it's a portion of the show. I enjoy taking 90s dance songs that people know. Season 1, it was Things That Make You Go, by CNC Music Factory.
Nice.
So now it's Whoop, There It Is. So it's the letter Whoop, which is, if you don't know how it's spelled, WHOOMP is the actual way of spelling that. So the first W, the only W, is for weekend activity. So outside of going to art shows and art fairs and recruiting in creative people, what's your favorite weekend activity?
Oh, man. Well, so I was on a boat all day today. So that's probably one of my favorites. I've got a bad thing with boats. I like to buy really old boats that don't work. See if I can make them work, and they don't usually. But this one I've got right now is working at the moment.
Wow.
So I got to go out on it today.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I'm big. Anything in the water, anything outside.
Okay.
We're getting to that time where it's almost too hot. But as long as if you're on the water, just swimming around, fishing.
Okay.
I used to surf a lot when I was younger.
Nice.
Now that I'm getting a little bit older, I find myself liking to fish a little bit more.
Yeah. I'll show you some pictures after the show showing Don. I went on a vacation up to Michigan, back to my home state, and we went up to Sheboygan. I took my brother out on a charter to Lake Huron.
Ooh, nice.
And we caught some 20. I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't a Freudian slip. It wasn't a Freudian slip. I didn't buy any fish. I caught them. I have pictures to prove it and videos.
Okay.
Some 20-something pound like brown trout, freshwater.
Whoa.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. They look like pike, like they're just
That's
gigantic, huge. And we caught like 10 of them, and we had about 30 pounds of fillets that we brought home.
Wow.
Man, it was fantastic. So anyway, yes, I'm with you on the fishing thing.
I'm not a great fisherman.
No.
No, but I do enjoy it.
You enjoy it,
We caught a couple flounder today, so
Nice.
it wasn't. It was that's why I came in kind of at the last minute. Is we finally found some fish after fishing all day, and I was like, we gotta get back. But it was hard to leave because we started catching fish.
Yeah.
So we got a couple pretty good flounder, and then we took off. So
Nice. All right. So the H is for habit. So what habit do you have that drives people crazy?
Ooh, sure. There's probably a lot that I don't know, and hopefully people are just too kind and they don't tell me what they are. Let's see. I am not the most punctual person, as you saw. That was probably. I mean, I was only 2 minutes late today, guys. But I don't know. I'm really bad with time. Like I just kind of am out there. I don't like looking at the clock, and I kind of try to go on like, oh, it feels like I should probably be leaving, and then sometimes that doesn't work out. So that's probably the worst thing. I definitely know that I need to improve on in my life.
Yeah, this is actually a sit-down therapy session.
Yeah,
We're
right.
trying to say,
yeah. What happened?
no cry, right? We had some people write us in and say, "You got Brooks on the show? Please talk to him about being on time."
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. The first O is for opportunity. So, when was you ever passed on an opportunity and then kind of like looking back on it, wish you hadn't?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's probably several of those. Let's see if I can think of a decent one recently. Well, probably this isn't a specific one.
Okay.
I can't think of any specific things right off the top of my head. But the one that your parents always tell you, you need to go do everything you can in high school. Play every sport, blah, blah, blah. And I played a lot of sports, but I wish I'd played every sport I had the chance to, because once you're out of high school, unless you go on and play in college, or you play for fun, but you just don't have that opportunity to go put on full pads and play football, that's not an opportunity. So that'd probably be the easiest one I could think of. That's nothing too
that makes sense.
But
I can appreciate that, because I think too, like thinking back on it, you reflect on how much fun you had and camaraderie and teamwork and like dedication and commitment, like all those things that you really enjoyed about certain elements of like high school sports. Like, why not do them all, right?
Yeah. Do them, and it's it's hard to organize that many people. I mean, if you're trying to go get 20 adults to play in a soccer match, like you're gonna have a hard time doing that. I mean, you can do it, but it's not as easy.
Brooks will be there. He's gonna be a couple minutes late, but he'll be at the game, right?
Yeah. I'll be pulling my cleats on, walking out.
He's pulling up with the truck and a boat behind it. Like, I made it, man. It's still water out of the back. Anybody got a hose? I gotta get the salt water up this thing. Okay, all right. The second O stands for over. So, what fashion song or meme are you over? Like, you're over it.
Ooh.
Seen it too much. You're like, I'm done with that.
Say it again. Fashion.
Song. Fashion, a song, a meme. It could be anything. Just anything that you're just like, I'm over it. I could not see that again, and I'd be really happy. Or hear that. Or.
Let's see. Fashion. Let's see. I'm almost over the beard.
Yeah.
I have a beard.
Yeah.
But just to let everybody know, I have a beard, and I'm not going to be shaving it. But
it's a great beard, yeah, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But and you know what? And I don't know what kind of haircut you have. The high top fade.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm bald, and I can't do that.
I'm with you.
And so it's more of it's more of a jealousy when I see that the high top fade with the nice little swoop over. I'm over it. I'm over it.
It's like make up your mind already. Do you want hair or not?
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, the O for over turned to P for petty real quick, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
That should be the P at the end. It's just petty.
Yeah.
It's so I've said the same thing many times. Like, if you could always see the future, like as a kid, I had thick
Mohawks.
hair, right? That's right. Trust me, dude. Like thick. I was like, I would have done so much more had I known my time was limited.
Yeah. Oh man, my dad told me too. Growing up, he'd rub the top of my head. I think it's getting thin up here. You never believe it until it starts happening.
It's gone. Yeah. That's awesome.
Right. That's fun.
Okay. All right. The M is I had to keep this in here, but it's musician or music. So favorite either musician, song, group, anything.
Ooh. Music. That's a tricky one. It for me, it depends on my mood, and I'll tell you, my favorite just listening music has been Fat Freddy's Drop.
Oh.
It's like I don't know how you describe it, but it's like almost like jazz with some more like electronic in there. I don't know. I'm not a genre. I couldn't tell you what genre it is even, but I enjoy listening to music that I just hear and I like it. And my buddy Tommy Morgan, he got me on them, and it's just a real easy group to listen to. So
nice.
That's probably them at the moment.
I like it. No, I'm the same way. I listen to everything with the exception of country. We've been over this. Not a huge country fan.
Yeah, I'm not a huge country fan, although I did go to a country show last night. Kara with Blue Jay Listening Room hosted an event last night at Engine 15 that we went to, and it was actually a good time. Nice. I had a very nice time. They did a great job. It was Kevin Jennings, I think. I shouldn't even say their names, but they were good. I don't follow it that much. I'd probably know every country song on the radio though, because that's just how it is. You hear them and you know them.
They're all the same.
They all have they do. Now I like older country. I'm a good Garth Brooks fan.
Okay.
Because my dad always listened to them growing up, so I do like some Garth Brooks songs.
I'll give it to them. A lot of times they can put on a hell of a show, man. There's nothing like a country music show to watch. Entertainment value, and the reality is a lot of them can play.
They're good musicians.
They're great musicians.
Yeah.
And so I really can't hate on them that much. I just normally wouldn't like pop on the country station, or like I'm gonna pop on probably classic rock or maybe some hip hop, like something like that. But yeah, live wise, I'll go see anybody live.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're great performers, I'm in. Count me in.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Okay, awesome. All right, and then the P for Whoop, there it is for passion. So any other passions that drive you outside of the few that we've already talked about today?
Science.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yep. So I was a biology major, did chemistry. Then like I said, I was in a physician assistant school, and I was a physician assistant for several years. So I really enjoy like the science behind the world, and biology especially, because it's pretty phenomenal. Like the more you learn about it, the more phenomenal it gets. I mean, you just appreciate it more and more the more you learn about it. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Well, hey, dude, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And just like that, flying through, dude. That's what happens on these shows.
Painless, wasn't it?
Painless.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Not that bad at all, huh? Right, have a good
fun.
time. So, yeah, once again, everybody check Brooks out, Local Goods Market, localgoodsmarket.com. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, it's Local Goods Market. And if you're on Pinterest, he ran out of letters. So it's still Local Goods Market, just without the E at the end. So check out social media, visit, buy something. Don't just look around, buy something, man. Yeah. There's some cool stuff on there, really, really cool stuff. And I think that, in regards to the community and stuff, like, thank you on behalf of everybody that's here, because I really strongly believe that this is some fantastic work. And I love the transparency. I love the fact that this is for you bigger than just having a cool idea or a website. Like, you're really trying to add some value to the community. And I have a huge passion for creative people, because I am one. And I know that creative people make the world go round. And sometimes if they don't have a platform or an outlet, because they're so great at being creative, that things like this are awesome. And I will be there when you have the first successful launch of somebody who kind of takes off.
I can't wait.
It'll be awesome. It's going to happen. It has to happen.
Yeah.
There's way too much talent in the area for that not to happen. My advice to anybody who wants to go check it out, like I said, go to localgoodsmarket.com. There's everything in there around how can you sign up, frequently asked questions, what does it all look like, the whole process. My only advice to those is just have your stuff in order.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that helps. That does make it smoother, but we can work with it.
We'll work with you, right? Yeah,
we'll get it.
But I'm really looking forward to the music angle on this.
Oh, me too.
And,
we'll talk more after this.
Yeah. When the mics turn off, we may have some more conversation here in a couple different things. But again, man, thanks for being on the show, dude.
Yeah, I
really
appreciate it.
Yeah, and I will definitely make the next meetup, and Yeah, we'll make it happen. Maybe we'll broadcast live. What do you think about that, Don?
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll bring the
we're
show
looking
down.
for end of July, so
Yeah.
we haven't hit the
I like
date
it.
exactly squared yet, but we'll get it
Yeah.
nailed down and get you.
If we're gonna be there,
Get
we'll
over
bring
there.
some gear. We'll do it for real, and
Yeah.
we'll talk to some of the makers, and maybe bring the DJ gear
Bring
down.
the DJ
Oh,
gear.
Now
yeah.
we're talking.
To scratch it up a little, maybe have to dust off the vinyl and
Yeah.
some old DJ Lozo.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in. Check us out next week, and we are out. The Life of Lozo podcast is brought to you by Stay Tuned Studios, The Taylor Shop Inc., 03 Productions, The Beat Brigade, Rhyme Designs Clothing, Ron's World Guitars, The Music Experience, Custom Shirts and more, and Jack's Nutrition. Thanks for checking us out. Please like, share, and give me a good review on iTunes or whatever listening platform you're on. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you soon. We are out. Deuces.